Hello, AP. Today is Monday, the 19th of April, and I'm making this recording, although I know that all the juniors are going to be in SBAC testing. So this is actually your assignment for Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and just give you some quick general reminders before I give you your topic, which is causes of World War II. So just to clarify, the new schedule starts this week. For the next 4 weeks, juniors are going to be, in their SBAC test. So really, we have kind of a 4-day week. Your intervention is you're login for it at 2:40 p.m. And then I will post usually on like Tuesday the assignment for that week. So I think that was all I had on this slide, but let me double check. In-person people are going to be getting a separate Google Classroom. So for you, if you're digital, it won't affect your present classroom. You're still good to go. But you do have to log in and complete whatever activity or attendance that I require for that day in order to get credit, because everybody needs attendance credit for every day. So that's just one slight difference. And then, of course, intervention starts at 2:40 each day, and that's just usually live from the classroom. You are still held responsible for notes, so make sure that your due dates are on your notes, that you have the proper heading, even if you are digital. And as always, it's the same story otherwise. They're due at the time we take an exam on them. SBAC testing. So due to SBAC testing, Monday will be asynchronous for all juniors in most likely all your classes, just because most of your teachers, like me and Mr. Flores and Mr. Miller, are going to be proctoring the SBAC test. So Monday might be the only day it's a little hard to reach us, but of course we can email during that time, and we'll see you on Tuesdays. The assignment and attendance are required, just to repeat that. Okay, I'm going to go on now to AP US History's next topic, which is causes of World War II. And because this is a recording of something I'm going to do live, just so you know, you can pause and go back if I go too fast, but I'm just going to go at normal pace here. So this is Screencastify. It's pausable and repeatable. Our question that we're dealing with today is, what causes World War II to start in Europe? And most likely you covered this in world history last year, although it might have been a little off just because of, lockdown. But we're in United States history. We know the United States fights in World War II, and our job is going to be this week to figure out why that happens. But in order to understand that, we have to understand why it starts in the first place. So just a pre-test for you. You're not going to be able to drop this in chat because it's asynchronous, but luckily for you, I know the answers. So make a little guess for yourself, and if you're wildly wrong, it's no big deal because you're going to know. For the first one, what year does World War II start in Europe? The next one, name 3 Axis countries and their leaders. Name 4 Allied countries and their leaders. And then what event causes the U.S. to enter the war? So going back really quick. World War II starts in Europe in 1939 with the invasion of Poland by the Nazis. So that's the official start of World War II. That's when France and Britain are going to declare war on Germany. The Axis countries are going to be Germany, Italy, and Japan. And their leaders are Hitler, Mussolini, and Emperor Hirohito. So you have Germany led by Hitler, Italy led by Mussolini, and Japan led by the Emperor Hirohito. 4 Allied countries are a little tricky because from time to time there were 3 or maybe 2. And the United States and Russia kind of joined a little bit later, I should say the Soviet Union. So in essence, the 4 Allied countries are the United States, led by President Roosevelt, Great Britain, led by Winston Churchill, But France had a bunch of different leaders because for a while they were led by the Nazis. And then the Soviet Union led by Joseph Stalin. So I'm only going to have you know the three main leaders, which would be Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin. The last one, what event causes the United States to enter the war? December 7th, 1941, the Japanese bomb Pearl Harbor. And that's going to touch off a chain of events within the country, and it's going to cause us to declare war on Japan and therefore all the Axis powers. So that's when we enter the war. Okay. Okay. So after the Treaty of Versailles, that ends World War One, the main country that's going to be unhappy with the outcome is Germany, because Germany is blamed for the war. And because of that blame, they're forced to pay reparations to the other countries, the Allied countries. Britain, the US, and France were the quote unquote winners, and they set the terms of the treaty, and they were very harsh on Germany. And because of that, Germany faces a really bad economy, a huge unemployment problem, and a lot of bitterness about the fact that they had lost the war. It was a wound to their national pride. 1933, Adolf Hitler is going to come to power. He was a soldier in World War One, and after Germany was defeated, he starts making these fiery speeches about how the Jews had caused the war, and he's making all kinds of trouble in the country. He's arrested and put in jail, and while he's in jail, he writes a book called Mein Kampf, where he kind of explains all his little theories about the Jews of Europe, etc. And this wasn't anything new. The Jews had long been a target of a lot of European leaders and governments. They were a traditional scapegoat, meaning they were blamed for a lot of things throughout, 1,000 years of European history. Hitler starts immediately to violate the terms of the Treaty of Versailles, and this is what's getting attention from the world, but not enough. He starts to build up Germany's military, seize land, and he founds the Nazi Party. And when he invades Poland September 1st, 1939, it's then that they realize that they may not be able to stop him. By then, he's grown very powerful. He is going to take over pretty much 90% of Europe when he's at his most powerful. And it's going to take a coalition of allied countries to defeat him. The strategy of Britain and France at the time was appeasement. Before he invaded Poland, he was seizing little areas of land around Germany, and the British and French were just kind of saying, well, let him have it. Let's hope he doesn't want any more. And that, of course, doesn't work. It's like taking a toddler into a candy store, and when they start crying, you buy them candy. Then it guarantees they'll never stop. So that policy does not work of trying to please Hitler. And unfortunately, they're going to suffer for it, because after the invasion of Poland is going to come the invasion of France and the extremely bad bombing of Great Britain. So not only Hitler, but the other fascist leaders around the world are kind of encouraged by this, because nobody's trying to stop him. So next you have Mussolini, and then you have, the Japanese had already been invading the countries around them for resources. Okay, you don't have to do this part yet, because that's actually going to be in your activity in your classroom. Sorry. Okay, so in the next, I'm going to put the next topic up on Wednesday, and that is how Japan becomes our enemy in this case. So we've covered what actually caused the war in Europe, and it was the invasion of Poland. And when that happens, the United States is not involved yet. It's going to be years later when we become involved after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. So I'm going to go ahead and pause right there, and you should watch this and have taken these notes by Tuesday evening. And just to recap, let me go back to your Google Classroom for just a moment to make sure that, look at the front page here, sorry. Just so you know, this attendance form will be live for you. And I will have this assignment up with Tuesday's date. I'm just going to kind of skip, well, I'll probably put it as Monday and Tuesday. Let me take that back. Okay, that is all for now. And if you have any questions, send me an email and have a great day.